Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in to Khaliis Take. If this is your first time, please like, subscribe, leave any comments. Also, hit the notification bell for any future content to get it first. And enjoy the video.
Who should the Clippers make a trade for? Now, when I initially thought about this, I thought to myself that the Clippers probably should make a trade for maybe I'm thinking now that Derrick Rose got traded to the Knicks, the Clippers should probably make a trade for maybe the likes of a player of Ricky Rubio or maybe Lonzo Ball. I'm really not sure if the Bradley Beal thing would be a fit like a lot of people think it would. Even though Bradley Beal is a really good piece, really good asset, no doubt about it. I mean, he can really help them in a lot of ways, especially with the scoring. But scoring is not what they need. They need a point guard who can get Kawhi and PG in position to make the plays that they need to make. They need a point guard to get them, to open up the floor more for everybody else. Because they had a point guard like Lonzo Ball, let's hypothetically say. They had a point guard like Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is an unselfish point guard. He's not a score first type of 30 point, 25 point, point guard, per game. That's not his game. His game is to, get everybody else involved and make knockdown shots, or score when he needs to. And that's pretty much how Lonzo Ball plays. And that type of mentality is exactly what the Clippers need. The Clippers need somebody who's going to go in there with the mentality of, I want to get Kawhi the ball in his spots. I want to get PG the ball in his spots. And then if they get double teamed and pass it out to me, I need to be able to knock down that open jumper. And that's exactly what they need. But also, if they had Lonzo Ball, you have somebody who can penetrate to the basket and get better looks for Serge Ibaka, more look and get even, better looks, for Nicholas Batum, shooters like that, so to me, they really need to make a trade for, I would say, Lonzo Ball, between Lonzo Ball and, I would say like a Ricky Rubio type. But personally, of course, I would go Lonzo Ball with Ricky Rubio. I'm just saying Ricky Rubio should be their second option. Because when you think about it, Ricky Rubio is just all pass first. He's really not even thinking scoring, even though he can knock down a shot. Now, to be honest with you, my personal opinion, because they have Serge Ibaka, I would love to see them get somebody like Kyle Lowry. Because now you're basically reuniting the core pieces of the Toronto Raptors of a couple years ago back together. But I don't really see them getting Kyle Lowry, and I'm not even gonna go that far for that to even be, I'm not gonna go that far for that to even happen. But I mean, I guess anything is likely or possible. But that would be the ultimate fit right there. But the more reality fit would be Lonzo Ball or maybe even the likes of a Ricky Rubio. So we'll see exactly how that goes. We'll see exactly if that actually pans out the way it's supposed to. But I mean, I can't think of any other point guard that really fit their criteria the best. I mean, I think that Lonzo Ball is a really good piece. I feel like he can really, not only stretch the floor for them, but I think he really can open up a lot of good things for them. And I feel like a point guard like that is exactly what they need and exactly what they're missing. Because let's just be honest, Patrick Beverley is really good. Patrick Beverley, he's pesty on defense and he plays really hard. But at the same time, he's not the point guard you're going to need in a 7-game series to beat these teams. He's, to me, I guess, how should I say it? To me, he's he's a good backup point guard. If they was able to keep Patrick Beverley, right, and still make the trade for like Lonzo Ball, I think that would be their best option. Because right now, when you look at their team, yeah, Patrick Beverly is pretty good. Patrick Beverly makes, knocks down some threes and stuff like that. But he can't do like Alonzo Ball can, because Alonzo Ball is a natural born point guard. And that's what you need. You need somebody to get everybody in their spots, make everybody comfortable, but also open up the floor and make easy shots for, your big men as well, because the Clippers have big men who can knock down shots. They don't have big men who just solely stay in the paint and around, 15 feet and in to the basket. They have big men that can step out and really shoot. So if you have the likes of, like I said, a point guard of Lonzo Ball's caliber, you really got a chance to make some real noise, in the Western Conference and in the NBA. Now, like I said earlier, my perfect, and if I had wishful thinking, my perfect fit for them would be a Kyle Lowry, but I really don't see that happening. So that's really kind of out of the realm. More the reality is Lonzo Ball, and between Lonzo Ball and Ricky Rubio, like I said, not unless they find somebody else. But to me, those are the two likely ones that possibly they can make a trade for. But this is where it's at for them, and this is what they should do. And this is pretty much it for them. They have to make a trade now by a trade deadline before All-Star break or during All-Star break, whenever. But they have to make this trade, because if they don't, I just don't see them winning the championship. Because I just don't know if you can win a championship with Patrick Beverly as your point guard and Reggie Jackson. I like Reggie Jackson. I really do. I like the way Reggie Jackson's playing. He's starting to really come into his own a little more, on this team. I mean, we're starting to see the Reggie Jackson of old, the one on OKC and the one on the Pistons the first couple of years before, he started really getting injured. We're starting to see that Reggie Jackson. And, we see that Reggie Jackson, then they got something going. But to me, that should be the person they have come off the bench. I think they should make a trade and put Patrick Beverly, trade Patrick Beverly and keep Reggie Jackson, let Reggie Jackson come off the bench and get like Alonzo Ball or somebody of that caliber. You're good. And I think that's the direction they should look at. I mean, because really when I think about their roster, I'm trying to think, their roster's pretty much stacked from top to bottom. That Nicholas Batum and Serge Ibaka trade was awesome. That was an awesome trade for them, because now you got a decent shot blocker in there with Ibaka, but at the same time, Ibaka is a 3-point shooter and he's a knockdown, shooter in general. Then Nicholas Batum, I mean, he's really just revamped and recreated his career, if you ask me. So I'm really just interested to see how they're going to do going forward and everything. But I really like what the pieces that they have right now. But they do need that solidified, certified point guard. And Lonzo would be perfect. Maybe even, like I said, Ricky Rubio would be a decent fit as well. So I mean, hey Clipper Nation, you're gonna have to do something, because like I said, anytime Kawhi misses a game, anytime PG misses a game, you're losing these games. You're not winning them. I mean, hell, Kawhi misses a game earlier this season and they lose by 50. I mean, Kawhi might be the best player in the league if he just sits out one game and you lose by 50 points. And then, Paul George's been out these last couple games and they lost 2 games in a row, which is not really alarming or anything like that. But still, it's just the fact of like, wow, what I'm saying? The team that they played, they could or should beat. I think, one of the teams anyway, they should have beat the Kings the other day. But like I said, I know they're missing Patrick Beverly and Paul George, but this is what I'm saying. When you're missing, one of those, Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, it's like they're not winning these games. And it's like, if you had a point guard that gets everybody in their positions and a point guard that can kind of take over some when one of the superstars are not there, you can win a game against a team like the Kings if you had Alonzo Ball. Because Lonzo would, in a game like that, he would have probably 15 to 17 points with 9 assists. And probably like 2 turnovers. You see what I'm saying? So, with that, and Lonzo Ball does play hard on defense as well. So, this is what I'm saying. Games like that, you would still win if you had Alonzo Ball in there, because he might can't score as much as PG can. PG is going to, drop 25 or 30 on a team like that. But Lonzo Ball, 17 points with 8 or 9 assists and no turnovers, hardly no turnovers. Well, they're probably winning that game, because he's making up for, he does play on he does play defense, and he's controlling the offense still, and on top of that, he's not turning the ball over. And when you're doing those things, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this is why I said making that trade is imperative for them. Now, hopefully they be able to come up with something, conjure up something. But I expect to see something happen here soon, because if they really want or expect to compete for a title, they're definitely going to need to fill that void. Because when I look at the Lakers, Dennis Schroeder is exactly what they need. Like I said, LeBron can play off the ball. Of course, AD plays off the ball. I mean, it's perfect. And Dennis Schroeder can knife his way through defenses just how he wants to, because he has a lot of leeway because of LeBron and AD out there. Okay, so if the Clippers get somebody like Lonzo Ball, he'll be able to do the same thing. He'll be able to knife his way through defenses easier, because with Kawhi and PG, it's going to open up the floor for his scoring a lot more. And then, if he's able to get to the basket how he wants to and still get his 6-7 assists a game, and if he, that's really going to open up the floor for Kawhi and PG even more. Now they got more one-on-ones instead of more double teams. And this is what the Clippers have to look at. So, I mean, hey, but that's my take on it. Please leave any like, comments. Please subscribe. And, hey, till next time.